Welcome to the Women and the Bible Show, where we dive deep into God's Word, uncovering truth, wisdom, and faith from a woman's perspective. Together, we explore the stories of Scripture, learn timeless lessons, and discover how God's Word still speaks to us today in every season of our lives. This is the Women and the Bible Show. Hello, and welcome to the Women and the Bible Show. I'm your host, Alice Newsome. This is the show where we study the scriptures from female perspectives. And we are the women. I have with me our great co-hosts. You know them, Maria and Pathenia. I'm excited because today we're starting a two-part series titled Think Like a Queen. We're going to explore how Esther thought, made decisions, and responded to incredible pressure.
Often we hear about Esther. It is her beauty or her courage that stands out. But there's so much more. Her mindset, her strategy, her courage under pressure, and her timing. What I love about this chapter is that it shows us what goes on inside her mind even before she ever steps in front of the king. This is where her thinking shifts. This is where her purpose begins to outweigh fear.
So, ladies, are you ready to think like a queen? So, Queen Esther lived in a palace surrounded by gates and guards. She was sheltered from the everyday life that was going on outside the palace walls. Our scripture tonight starts in the book of Esther, chapter 4. We will examine this story from Esther's point of view as the historical events unfold. So I am reading Esther, chapter 4, verses 1 through 4. When Mordecai learned of all that had been done, he tore his clothes, put on sackcloth and ashes, and went out into the city, wailing loudly and bitterly. But he went only as far as the king's gate, because no one clothed in sackcloth was allowed to enter it. In every province into which the edict and order of the king came, there was great mourning among the Jews, with fasting and weeping and wailing. Many lay in sackcloth and ashes. When Esther's eunuchs and the female attendants came and told her about Mordecai, she was in great distress. She sent clothes for him to put on instead of his sackcloth, but he would not accept them. Wow. So let's just talk about what we just read. So why was Esther concerned about Mordecai?
It's her people.
It was her people. And what was Mordecai doing?
He was grieving.
He was grieving.
He was grieving. Super. Really, really grieving.
He was. Because he was outside the king's gate and he had taken his clothes off. He had decided to just go around crying. Here's a man crying. These two things don't go together. We don't see men just walking around crying. They have usually more pride than that, more dignity. They have more self-respect than that. But Mordecai was distraught. And go ahead.
He was distraught.
He was distraught. He was distraught. And Esther didn't know why. So that's the perspective we're coming from, because Esther is inside the palace. She doesn't know what's going on outside. So we're looking at this from Esther's perspective. So she doesn't even know Mordecai's out there until someone comes to tell her. So she doesn't know. She's sheltered. She's in a palace. She's a queen. She doesn't know what's going on in the royal courtyards. She doesn't know. Whatever's happening outside, she's unaware of. Okay, so he had torn his clothes and he was crying with sackcloth and ashes. She didn't know what was going on, but she wanted to help. So how did Esther want to help?
Sent him some clothes.
She sent him some clothes.
Take a bath, wash up, put on some fresh clothes.
Put on some clothes. Yeah, let's. She thought that would help. And I guess if you're thinking logically, you would think maybe that would help.
Why is he in sackcloth and ashes, right?
Maybe he needs some clothes. I don't know.
Yeah, she didn't know. She didn't know. Okay, so Maria, let's pick up the story.
All right. So, verse 5 Then Esther called for Hathach, one of the king's eunuchs, who had been appointed to attend her, and ordered him to go to Mordecai to learn what this was and why it was. Hathach went out to Mordecai in the open square of the city in front of the king's gate. And Mordecai told him all that had happened to him and the exact sum of money that Haman had promised to pay into the king's treasuries for the destruction of the Jews. Mordecai also gave him a copy of the written decree issued in Susa for their destruction, that he might show it to Esther and explain it to her and command her to go to the king to beg his favor and plead with him on behalf of her people. And Hathach went and told Esther what Mordecai had said. Esther really wanted to figure out what was really happening. And I can imagine a person being and we've seen it in the world sometimes where you have people who are of high stature, and they may have a care for people, but they're so far removed from what's going on. And so in order to really get a sense of what's happening, somebody has to inform you. You have to inquire, but at least she cared enough, because sometimes people get into the palace and they forget where they came from. They forget about all of their people. And so she was concerned and wanted to know. And so she sent the eunuch out to find out exactly what's going on. I guess what Mordecai told him everything. Sometimes we can assume that people know what's going on, but oftentimes you really have to take the time to explain. Hey, this is what's going on. I need your help. Sometimes we don't. We'll be in turmoil and we'll be in despair and assume that people know and understand.
Yeah.
But he gave her all of the information. He sent back all the information.
Okay, so what did he tell her? What did he say was going on?
That Haman
Him and his people are about to really be executed.
Exactly. Annihilated. Yes.
They were going to get rid of them. And what I was thinking was her being in the palace, him being outside, she still never would have known hadn't someone came and told her.
Right.
Because how was she going to know what was going on? Right? Unless somebody brought the information to her.
Right.
So Esther was concerned about Mordecai. She sent someone to find out exactly what was going on. Mordecai gave her the whole spiel. Everything.
Which is more than, I need more than clothes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a kind gesture. Right.
Yes.
That's a kind gesture, however.
Clothes is not what I need.
What did Mordecai want Esther to do?
Go before the king.
Go before the king and do what?
Ask him to stop.
Please
To beg and to plead.
Yes.
Yes, he wanted her to go before the king to beg and to plead. Okay, so we're all on the same page now. Mordecai has just filled Esther in. They want to kill all of us. They want us gone, all of us.
Us.
Yes, they want us gone. Yes, and go before the king and beg and plead. Okay, but then you pick up the story there.
All right, so I'm going to 10. After Esther spoke unto Hatash and gave him commandment unto Mordecai, all the king's servants and all the people of the king's providences do know that whatsoever, whether man or woman, shall come up to the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. but I have not been called to come into the king these 30 days.
Okay, let's talk about that.
You just can't go prancing into the king's court.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you might, even if that's your husband, you my husband, I need to talk to you. We need to talk. No. Not unless you want to die. If he don't give that scepter raise and say, hey, come in or call for you, you don't just go waltzing into his office, into his course to say you won't have a conversation.
So that's a good point because, even though the king is her husband, she didn't just go in because she knew the law. The law applied to her as queen. I mean, the king had just gotten rid of a queen.
There's some apprehension. There's some,
there is.
And so when it goes back to Mordecai, it's like if I tell somebody this is urgent and then they come back to me with, well, this is what, then I'm like,
I can do
yeah.
Sure.
Right.
I do that.
Right. It kind of creates a weird space,
Okay, so pick up the reading, Maria.
Verse 12, and they told Mordecai what Esther had said. Then Mordecai told them to reply to Esther, do not think to yourself that in the king's palace you will escape any more than all the other Jews. For if you keep silent at this time, relief and deliverance will rise for the Jews from another place, but you and your father's house will perish. And who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this?
Well, there's that line.
There's
the line. Yep.
But some people feel like they have arrived in that space and that they're not in the same group, if that makes. So it's like, that's their problem now, as if you're not a part of them or they are there or whatever. And so, you can get to a place sometimes where you forget from whence you came. And so I feel like Mordecai was like, okay, you
don't forget.
You Jewish too.
Yeah.
So remember when they start killing all Jews, you're in the all. You're in the all. So I need you to think about that. And I think that happens in today.
It does.
Like I've gotten a good job and good education. Now I live in this neighborhood. So it's them. I'm not a part of them. But if this was to happen, guess what? It doesn't matter how much money I have. I'm a part of them.
Still, you are.
Exactly.
You are. Mordecai reminded Esther that she is
still a Jew girl.
She's still a Jew girl. That's
exactly.
good. She's still a little Jew girl.
Exactly.
Don't forget.
And we all have to keep this in mind in our own lives.
Right.
Where we are, where we're positioned, whether it's good or bad, wherever it is that God has you, there's a plan for you. He's got you there strategically, in divine timing to represent or do whatever it is in that moment, but if we forget, like, oh, those are my people. Oh, I do need to help. Oh,
remember.
But that's true. Like, for her, it was to save her people. But for us, like you just said, wherever we are, on our jobs, in our community, in our family, we are there for such a time as this.
That's right.
Yeah.
What is God calling us to do in that moment? That's His plan.
Right.
Has been His plan the whole time. It may be hard, Sometimes you have those family members that you just, oh, Jesus, help us, Lord, for such a time as this. I need you to stand up. I need you to declare who I am. I need you to live it out in front of them. And I still need you to love them and have compassion for them and consider them because they're still a part of you. So,
okay, but then you pick it up.
Then Esther made them return to Mordecai this answer. Go, gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also I also and my maidens will fast likewise. And so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. She reminded him still about that law.
Mhm.
And if I perish,
Mhm.
I perish.
Mhm.
So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him.
Mhm. Okay. So expound on that, Kathleen.
Like I said, it just seemed like maybe the spirit just here and she's saying, okay, this give me a plan, right?
Mm.
This is the plan. We're
Mhm.
gonna fast, we're gonna pray,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna go.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
God be with me.
Yes.
But I'm gonna go. This is against the law.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna step past that. I'm gonna overlook that it's against the law. And guess what? If I perish, I perish. But I'm gonna perish doing what I know that's right to do.
Mhm. Okay. All right. What you got, Maria?
And there's man's law and there's God's law. And there are times when we're called to do what God said, and it may be against what, because, that's how the world is set up. They have all kinds of cultural norms and rules and, laws that may be against what God said. But I have to always choose to do what God said, to do things, his way. And it's not always easy. It's going to be the hard thing a lot of times, but she made that decision. You have to always decide. And I feel like because she chose to obey, God gave her a strategy.
Right.
So I feel like once we, decide to override our feelings, our apprehension, and we decide to obey God, he'll give us, the strategy to do what it is that he wants us to do.
Okay. So I noticed a few things. I noticed that Esther didn't panic. And she didn't rush. And she did come up with a strategy. She asked all of the Jews in Susa to fast and to pray. Not for themselves, but for her. But for her. Because, her life was on the line immediately, even though theirs were as well.
Yes.
But immediately, in the next 3 days, she could live or die, just depending on if the king extended his scepter or not. Hey, we have something special for you. Listen to this. Hey, ladies. I've created something I know you're going to love. It's called the Women and the Bible Devotional. It's a free 7-day journey filled with scriptures, reflections, and prayers designed to help you grow in faith and remind you of who God says you are. You can grab your free copy today. Just DM me the word Bible, and I'll send you the link. Yes, that's right. DM me the word Bible, and I'll send you the link. Let's grow together, ladies. Thanks for watching. Like and share now. All right. So Esther asked everyone in Susa to pray and fast. She also asked her attendants to join in, and she joined in. Yes. And the fasting and the prayer, it helped to equip her spiritually and mentally. So she used wisdom and counsel. I wonder, she was assigned to Haggai, who was in charge of the king's court or his harem. So I just wonder if Haggai was part of her counsel, if she went to him and said, this is going on, because he was well aware of it. This is going on, and maybe he instructed her how to approach the king because he helped her before to become queen. So I'm just wondering if she's in that, in a nice little group, because she had her
She had in the multitude of counsel.
Yeah.
There's
Her
safety.
unique
There is
So
Yeah.
maybe she did have those that she would acknowledge.
So she used wisdom and counsel to proceed and approach the king. Yes. And she waited for direction from God. hmm Yes. So she, grew up with Mordecai. And the one thing about the Jews that I like is how they just pass those stories down from generation to generation.
They teach.
They just keep teaching. Yes. They keep teaching and instilling in the young people pride, a sense of Jewish pride. We're Jews. We're proud people. We're the people of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yeah.
Yes.
Know who you are.
They tell their story. They tell their history.
Yes.
They tell you where you going. Right? They give you some direction.
Okay. So here are some lessons from Queen Esther when stressful situations are brought to your doorstep, because that's exactly what happened. She didn't know what was going on. This situation was just thrown upon her, and she had to act instinctively. She had to know what to do. So one thing that she did first was she got detailed information. She didn't understand what was going on. She wanted to know the what and the why. She refused to let fear drive her choices. She was afraid to go before the king.
Right.
Yeah, this is a life or death situation. But she decided to go forward anyway. So she didn't let fear drive her choices. She fasted and prayed for direction. She paused for time to think and hear God's voice. And I believe she also sought wise counsel. She received clarity on how to proceed. She understood. Sometimes when you're in a situation or you're in church or you're ministering or whatever, and sometimes you don't know exactly what to do. I remember being in spots like when I was doing a play and something came up and I didn't know exactly what to do. You just take that time to be quiet, and all of a sudden, you know what to do. You know what to do. I believe that's what happened to Esther. She knew how to proceed. So the follow through is now do what you said you would do. And she did.
She did.
And she did. All right. Ladies, you got any greatest takeaways? Any final words? Anything about Esther?
Yeah. When all else fails and you don't know what to do, fast and pray. And let the Lord lead you.
That's true. That is true.
I would say be courageous, be bold, never allow your fear to keep you from doing what it is that God is calling you to do. He's put great things in all of us, and a lot of times we let fear paralyze us, but pray and do it anyway.
All right. That's good. That's good. Yes, yes. So we've learned quite a bit from Esther. We looked at how she fasted and prayed for direction. And just like Bithynia and Maria said, fasting and praying for whatever the situation is. You don't know what to do. You have no idea what to do. You're confused. You're challenged. You may be afraid. But when you spend that time with the Lord, you fast and you pray and you listen and you move. You do it anyway because God has a plan for you. This is part of your journey. It's part of the process to get where God is taking you. So be encouraged. You can be afraid, but do it afraid. Do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
Do it anyway. And see what God has for you on the other side. On the other side, because you will go through and He'll be there with you as you go through. So that's all we have for today's show, the Women and the Bible Show. We want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe, and invite 3 women to watch the show with you. Until next time, stay encouraged, be blessed, and we'll see you. Good night. Thanks for watching the Women and the Bible Show. We hope you've been inspired to read the Bible and deepen your personal relationship with God. Like, share, and follow, and tag 3 women and tell them to watch the show. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. Until next time, stay blessed.